Hello, hello, and welcome to EarthenLaberinto podcast. I am a knitter and maker of things here in Central Virginia. I'm super happy to share a little bit of what I've got going on right now. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I know it's been a while. It's probably been around 2 to 3 months now since I've posted anything, and that had a lot to do with the fact that things have been super hectic, very busy. End of school happened for us. We homeschool, so I had to make sure everything was squared away and legal, and we were caught up and all that, which is good. Now that's done. And let's be honest, homeschooling, usually you're not done when everyone's done. You're always schooling, you're always teaching, and your kids are always learning. So for us, it's like just a more relaxed schooling type learning environment, and not as like we got to do XYZ type deal. And another thing I've been up to is my youngest sister is getting married at the end of this month, and she asked me to officiate her wedding. So all of that, plus, as you can tell, my garden's been exploding, so that also took up a lot of my energy. Just super busy. But even in all of that chaos, I have indeed finished a few knit items. So I guess we'll start off with what I'm wearing. And I am wearing My Little Secret Crop by Jessie Maed Designs. I'm sure you guys have heard of her, and if you haven't, please look her up. She is a genius. She is amazing, size inclusive, very versatile, classy. Well, to me it's classy. It's comfortable, and these are everyday staples. You can put this on to go out with your friends. You could put it on underneath other items, and just really it completes the wardrobe. And for me, it's comfortable, and it looks nice, and I just love everything about it. So yes, this is My Little Secret Crop that I used actually 2 different types of yarn. The first one is by Volenvine. I believe it was Winter and Velaris. And the second yarn, which is the top part right here, I actually got in Florida at 4 Pearls. The lovely Laura helped me find a yarn that really does blend well with Volenvine, and it was Emma's yarn. I think it was in Mind Your Business. That's right. And I've discussed this top before. It's a bottom-up design. You decide how much of the band, oh sorry, didn't mean to jiggle them. You decide how much of the band you want to make, and then the cups, that's also very size inclusive. And then the straps, you just sort of do like this I-cord, which I have fallen in love with the I-cord whenever I did her framework bralette. And yeah, very easy to follow, lots of information. So if you feel like you're clueless, like you have to have it written down, she does that. She writes it down to the T, everything you need, step by step. So, and then if you get confused, guess what? She also has videos. And there's so many people that have actually knit a lot of her designs that if you look up on Ravelry, if you have that ability to, or like if you want to go on Ravelry, you can actually see a lot of notes and comments. And if you don't have that Instagram, and if you don't have that, you can always message her and she'll, help you out. I have nothing but good things to say about her designs. It's been a game changer for me. And to actually knit a crop top on me, like place it on my body and actually feel like it flatters me, it's new for me, because I'm super self-conscious. I don't feel like like I look good in a lot of these things, but like I said, it just because of how size inclusive it is, just how versatile it is with sizes. You could have a different band size, different cup size, different strap length. I was able to tailor it to exactly what I wanted it to look like. Tried it on as I was doing all that, and I'm super happy with the way it turned out. But yeah, so that's what I'm wearing. I guess I'll go to some finished items, because I know last time I had posted about my Into the Woods socks. I was working on them, and I did finish them. Look how amazing they look. Now, if you can tell, if I have them put together, you can see that I did fudge a little. I messed up a little bit. Right here in the front. You probably can't tell. That's awesome. No, but yeah, I did. This is the Into the Wood Socks by Melody Hoffman. So adorable. I was so addicted by this motif. It was so potato chippy. I would do one and then I'd be like, okay, next one. And I'd do the next one and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already at the heel. And then I'd, like it was not, I probably finished this maybe within a week. I was like done. And that was with other things going on too. It's a cuff down design. You start here at the cuff. I cast it on, I think it was like 54. Yeah, 54 stitches. And then went ahead, started the little pattern, the little tree pattern. Now that is a very, very cute little design there. I loved it. It was adorable. Just seeing the little tree start to form with each row. It was so satisfying. I used 6 and 7 Fiber Co. in her Swan song. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's like little flecks of like orangey, black, and like kind of bluish specks. And it really did, it reminded me so much of the feathers of my Welsh Harlequin ducks, which you probably hear in the background. Yeah, and you can also hear Hamlet, our little piggy. He's a cooney pig. But yeah, see how it has like some of those little flecks. I'm so in love with that yarn and the pattern. And that's why they're a little dingy. I did wash them, but I've been using them like crazy because in my household we like to turn on the AC at night, and I get really cold, like my hands, my feet, my extremities, they like to freeze up on me more than anything else. So I just slip these bad boys on and I am feeling good. Like I don't really need anything else. I don't need a wrap, a blanket, hat, nothing. I just need a nice woolly pair of socks and I am ready to go. Oh, and the little trees, I went ahead and I used Jamieson and Smith in the colorway Moss. Sorry, I just saw a hummingbird. There are two mated pair, I believe, of hummingbirds that love to visit my garden, and I'm so in awe of them because they're so fast and they're beautiful and they just hover there and they're just slurping away at all the little flowers and stuff. So I just love seeing them when they're out here. They're actually not afraid of me, so if I see them, I'll be happy. The next finished item that I have is actually for the wedding I'm going to officiate. My sister has this like lacy kind of theme, and I decided to go with My Lace Top by Victoria Snellman. And it is a bottom up design. As you can tell, you have some cables that go right up the front and the back as well. Hold on, let me see if I can show you the back. See, it's kind of the only difference between the front and the back is the front shaping for like the cups. That's the only difference, and it's a very slight difference. This pattern I had a little difficulty with. It's right where you start to set, because you knit in the round bottom up, you're doing this lace pattern which she has charted up in different charts, and you just repeat that and you go around and around and around, right? And then you start to decrease to create these like armholes areas, and then you make the top part, right? So you're doing that to do that. It was very odd how she wrote it out. Now there was nothing else. There were no videos. I tried to look up on comments, didn't find any way to solve my problem on what I was like confused about. What you're supposed to do is you start to decrease here, and then you work these flat. These parts you do flat. All 4 of them you do. And then like you attach them up top here. I used a Kitchener stitch to like attach them. I just love that look. To me it looks very put together and like it was meant to be like that. But yeah, it was a little wonky. I figured it out, but I feel like if you were a beginner knitter, you probably would be left with like, what in the world do I do now? You know what I mean? So I'm going to attempt to find my notes and write them down on my Ravelry to try to help anybody else who was also stumped like I was. Because, you know, that's the only thing that really hung me up was, you know, the shaping of that part. But other than that, like, I'm in love with the lace. The lace looked great. And then, like, the cabling, that was beautiful. I really do love this section right here. Just beautiful. It goes all the way up the band here. And the yarn I used was actually a first for me. I ordered some yarn from Sweet Sparrow, and let me see, I have my notes down here, and it is Warm Whispers on her Phoebe Tweed DK. And let me tell you, we have a road on the front of our property, instead of like a main road. So you're probably gonna hear cars, and that's what it is. I apologize, but there's not much I can do about that. Anyways, yeah, the tweed, I love it. So in real life, like this is real life. In person, this is like a blushy lavender color. It's very subtle, very whimsical. Like I feel like it is like the whisper, you know, like it's very subtle. And the tweed part is beautiful. It has like these dark blacks, like specks, but it also has like these cream and also oh, I just had a worm crawl on me. Cream and white flecks as well. See? Oh, all right, I gotta go. Let him go. But anyways, I don't have any shoes on, so he like started crawling on my foot. It kind of freaked me out there for a second. All I have to do is weave in the ends and go ahead and block it, and it is ready to go. One thing about this I can say is that I wish there were more sizes for it. Like, she only has 5 sizes, and this is the large. Yeah, that's large. The good thing about it is that with the yarn and the lace and everything, it does stretch, as you can see. It will stretch. So I'm not worried about that, but still, like, kind of not cool that it doesn't have more sizes. But I've never made a pattern, and I know there's a lot that goes into it. So I could only dream of doing what she did, but hopefully she can figure out how to like get a few more sizes in there for other people, because it is a lovely design. And so that's my second finished item. Another item that I finished. Oh my gosh, you guys. Another Jessie made, and it is, let me see, the Ripple Halter. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. It is ingenious. So you knit this top down. You start with this little cuff. And I know when I first started, I was like, oh, I don't know. It looks like a really big sock, you know, like it looks like a sock. And you knit this front part first. You knit down up to here. And then you do the back. You knit it up to there. Then you join in the round. Increase, decrease, all that jazz, all the way down. Beautiful. And I was able to use last year's holiday club in the colorway Saint Nick by Lambstrings yarn. I love her yarn. And I always have to find something special to like craft with it, because it's indie dyed yarn. Any indie dyed yarn I treat very carefully, because they're expensive, number one. Number two, they're gorgeous. Well, actually, that would also be number one. All right, 2 ties for number one: gorgeous and expensive. And mostly I don't buy a lot of it. Usually just like one skein or one club, you know, and I have to find a way to incorporate it. And this was perfect, because both of these colors was that colorway, and I think it really went well. Plus I love green, so that really helps. What can I say? She is a magician. It really does stretch very well. And, you know, it's really up to you. How much do you want? Do you want to show a lot of side boob? Do you want to be a little bit more modest? Do you want it to be a whole shirt length, or do you want it cropped? Do you want it more cropped than this? I mean, it's all up to you. And again, all of her patterns are really packed with information. There's ways on how to find the right size for you, how to make it fit and form to your likes and your needs. And it's just amazing that she can do that. And I'm right now just in awe at the color too, because oh my gosh, Lambstrings, she resonates so much with me, because her colors are so moody and gothic and just like dramatic. So I mean, like, not like dramatic, but I mean, like, you know what I mean, like, just I just love them. I can't get enough of it. Beautiful. And so that was my other finished item. Very simple, very squishy. Since it's ribbed, it does stretch a lot. There's a lot of give to this, so that is super helpful. Now, one more, or should I say the last finished slash still whip, is my Beekeeper's quilt, the Beekeeper's quilt by Tiny Owl Knits. And I used Lambstrings, but this time I used her Krampus holiday club. I believe this was 2 years ago. Let's see, how beautiful is that? Gaze at that beauty. I mean, I wish I had more of it. I actually used this yarn on a mosaic knit. It was like I believe it was a cowl that I made that had like a spider motif on the front part of it. I love that. I use it during winter a lot. And I had just a little bit of yarn left over, so a hexie puff it is. And that project is ongoing. It's going to be ongoing for quite a while, because the goal is to make either a queen size or a king size spread out of nothing but poofs. And they are all stuffed with wool. So it's going to take me a while, and I'm totally fine with that. Hopefully I'll be able to also use some of my handspun for that. Now, another work in progress is by a designer. There was a cowl going on. You probably heard of it. It's the Knitting Nellie cowl. Just to help support the designer. She's been going through some things, and I was totally for helping. I was going to anyways, but when I saw this pattern, I was like, sold regardless of the situation. Here's my money. And this is the Calico sock. I have one done, as you can see. And please excuse my ingenuity. Or jerry rigging, or whatever you want to call it. I used cardboard as a sock blocker. Hey man, you work with what you got, and I don't have a wooden sock blocker. I could make myself one, but I just haven't gotten around to getting the lumber for it or anything. This is a cuff down sock, and as you can see, the heel I messed up on, but I didn't have the heart to unravel it. I'd been working on it, and then when I got to this part, I was like, what? So this part I was doing it wrong. It's supposed to be a honeycomb heel, and I had never done one before, so I was like, okay, this is the way to do it. But then I started doing it, and again, after I picked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it wrong. But I'm dealing with it. I'm okay with that. It's a heel. It's going to go in my boot. I'm going to be fine. No one's going to see it. And if they do, I'll just tell them, hey man, I'm only human. I make mistakes. And sometimes I embrace my imperfections. Not always, but this time I will. The cuff, what a cute design. So you do your little cuff, and then your color work starts right here, and then it goes all the way down to here. And look at that adorable color work. It looks like little flowers. And if the yarn looks a little familiar, it is Lambstrings. Yes, it is. I'm not ashamed. I splurged a bit. I try to get a holiday colorway every year, and this little red part is from last year's Saint Nick's set. Same thing that I used the ripple. So this is what it came with. It came with these 3 colors, and it was gorgeous. But anyways, back to the sock. The body of it is from my own handspun, which I have here in my woven bag. I took a bunch of my handspun, threw it on my Kromsky loom, and I wove it. And then I just cut that, sewed it up, and now it's a bag. It's not the best, but it works. It contains my items. It keeps it away from the cat, so I'm all happy about it. My duckies. Yeah, so this is the main body of it, and it is a moorit Corriedale fleece that I spun up. And then these are the 2 lambstring yarns that I did with it. So it was these 3. And I am on the 2nd sock. I think I am 4 rows away from doing the heel. So I'm really close. I'm super excited because look at how cute that is. I must put these on. I can already imagine myself in fall wearing boots and just seeing this peeking up out of my boot. How cute is that? It's like, it gives me mad, what is it called? Animal Crossing vibes. But yeah. So that's my work in progress. And you already know about the Beekeeper's quilt. That's another work in progress. So that's it for knitting. For now, at least. I do have 2 spinning projects right now. Now the first one that I have on my wheel right now, and I have a blue bonnet spinning wheel, which unfortunately the makers of that wheel are no longer making them. Oh, excuse me. But so far I love it. Had it for years. And so I am working with cotton. So the cotton grows, as you know, into those bowls, and then they're spiky. You gotta kind of like pry out the cotton, and it's so fluffy. It's like magic, and you're just like, wow, I can't wait to spin that. Oh, but wait, there's a lot of seeds in there. Yes, there are. So what you got to do is you got to kind of like pull the cotton off of the seed. Get that seed out of there. See? And that's what you're left with, the little seed, and you're left with a little tuft of cotton. There's another seed. And there you go. You got to pull them all out. once you get all of your seeds out, then you can finish processing it. And what I did is I mixed it with Corriedale fleece that I have, and I mixed them together and I rolled them up into like these little roll-logs. So I mixed them on my hand carders. So, and then I just sort of rolled them up into like these little snail shell, little spirals. And then I spin them one at a time. The cotton I have most of them are cream. Some of them came with more brown color. And believe it or not, I even have a little bit of green tinged one. So this is what I have to spin. And then my plan is to spin it into like a fingering weight and make another framework bralette, because I love mine and I need another one because I can't be wearing the same one all the time. It gets hot here in Virginia. There's no way. But yeah, and I really hope to be able to have enough to make the framework bralette. And if I don't, then I'll definitely incorporate another hand spun. Another spinning project that I have is with this fleece that I have that I washed. It's now washed. I just have to pick it. Oh, it's so soft. And this is another I believe a Corriedale fleece. Look at that. I'll probably run this through my drum carder and spin it worsted style. That seems to be my jam. I do like to comb some fleeces, but there's something about having that airy, springy fleece yarn that it's so cozy to me. But yeah, and that one I think I'm going to do that one into like a worsted or DK weight yarn. And then I do plan to naturally dye it with yarrow and some iron. So if you guys are interested in anything like that, I'd be more than happy to share that with you guys. We'll see what happens. And other than that, I do have one Inquisition. Let me see, I've got it right here. And it is Plotalope. This is in that heather black colorway, I believe. But yeah, this is what it looks like outside of the package. It's very soft. This is my first time working with Plotalope. I've done my own Lopi yarn before, but I've always wanted to try, like, you know, the commercially spun, factory spun type or unspun wool. I'm super excited for that. And for this one, I had thoughts of turning it into a hat. I have 3 plates, so I could possibly also do a top. I'm not sure. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love them. If you've got a favorite, you know, pattern that you've used Plotalope with, feel free to drop them in the comments. I am open to suggestions. I don't have a hat, so I was thinking about doing a hat, and there's a really awesome hat pattern that I really want to do. And that could possibly be used with some of this. And I could always order more, so there's also that aspect as well. But yeah, give me any suggestions or ideas on what I should do with that Plotalope. I have 3 plates right now as is. But yeah, other than that, everything else is pretty good to go. Like I said, I have that wedding here at the end of the month that I've got to officiate, so I'm hoping to have a project on my needles. I'm going to finish those socks before, so I need to think of what I want to do to take with me, because that's quite the drive up there. And at the end of this, I might throw in a little video of my garden, maybe of Sir Hamlet and the quad of ducks that we've got here. Maybe show you guys a little bit of something that's been going on around here. But yeah, so that's all I've got for now. Yeah, take care of each other. Be kind to yourself. Love each other. Treat the earth kindly and lovingly, and stay safe, you know? And I can't wait to see you guys again. So thank you so much for listening to me. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.